Okay, let's run.
Your mission, should you choose to accept it.
It's a quest. It's a quest for fun.
Well, The Rock says, why don't we just cut right to the chase?
Okay, now he wants to get together. Well, he wants to talk.
I want you to do me a favor. I want you to tell all your friends about me.
It's showtime, folks!
What are you?
Greetings and salutations. Welcome to And I Quote. This is a weekly show where we introduce you to some of the best creators in the world, and we find out more about them by taking your questions. I'm your host, Ryan of And I Quote channel, and our guest on this episode is someone who has been here before, but he has been back for a very, very long time because he's been busy grinding, hustling, loyalty, respect. You can't see me. What are you playing, peekaboo? Of course we can see you. He's done a lot of great things. He's got a Kickstarter going on right now, which we will talk about just a little bit later on. Please welcome a Philbo Publications. Phillip Russertt is here, and it's showtime, folks. How you doing, Phil?
How are you?
Doing well. It's great to have you back. It's great to have you here. Now, if you have any questions for Phil Russertt as we go throughout the course of this program, let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat. Do not forget to like and share this with all of your closest friends. And if you're joining us live on the replay, thank you so much for doing so. So in the words of our good friend Jackie Boy, Jack Nicholson, Phillip Russertt, tell us about yourself. Who are you?
I'm a nobody.
No, you're a somebody. That's what you are.
I'm a somebody. I'm Phil Russertt. I'm father, husband, homeowner, nurse by day, publisher by night, soon to be distribution as well. My flagship title is Tragedy, which has done very well on crowdfunding, which then moved on into other publications such as Dynamics, Withered, Arcane Syndicate, which is just being released, etc. And just excited to get my creations and my stories and my worlds out there, and very grateful to all the fans who have supported those thus far. I also publish people from other countries through crowdfunding, and we'll have the distribution option soon. So just very excited. It's going to be a breakout year between crowdfunding and distribution, and I'm just very excited to work with a lot of great people, and I got to get to be on great shows like this. So that's me.
Well, that's a very good elevator pitch, man. You got that done in less than 60 seconds. Did you rehearse that first, or did you just do it off the top of your head, like in Captain America Winter Soldier?
I just talk so much. So after a while, I'm a big talker.
So much? Oh, geez. So as they say on some certain channels of social media, you're a jibber jabber.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, my jibber jabber.
Yeah. And I take it the missus is cool with this, with you jibber jabber, and she doesn't mind it.
She's the opposite, so it makes her feel comfortable to have to stay quiet. So she's just fine.
Oh, gee, well,
she's stuck with me this long, so
Yeah.
She's like, what was that movie with? You'll know because you're great at movie quotes. Yeah. But she goes, "I'll find you." Like, she'll never let him go.
Oh, that's Wedding Crashers, bro.
Wedding Crashers. That's it. She's like, "I'll find you." So my wife will say that to me every once in a while. She goes, "You're never leaving me, or I'll find you."
Oh, geez. So she pulls an Isla Fisher from Wedding Crashers. We got Stage 5 Klinger. Yeah. Stage 5, remember?
Yeah.
Klinger,
Hey, Charles.
Yeah, Charles W. Morgan is in the building. He says hello to Phil and Ryan. Good to see you, Charles. Hope everything's well in your neck of the woods. Charles has racked up quite a resume with his comic series. So
yeah, Cold Cutter 4 is out right now live. Go check it out. And if you back my campaign we're going to talk about, I will send you the PDF to his first issue so you can enjoy it and then go back the campaign for number 4. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Yeah, what we did 1-4-4-1. We reverse everything. No, I'm kidding. It's all good. And Charles, congratulations on that, man. That's good. And I like the title too. It stands out from the rest. Cold Cutter. It's a badass title. It sounds like it's a Western TV series waiting to happen.
Badass book too.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, and Charles says it's good. Support Phil's Omnibus. Well, we are gonna get to that momentarily here, Charles. Don't give away too many spoilers. And then he also says thank you to each and every single one of us. Thanks, thank you, Charles, for putting out your work, your comic books, your content. It's great stuff, man. No qualms here. Just out of curiosity, though, I know this may sound like a silly question, but have you seen any good movies or TV shows lately, despite the fact that you work 40 hours a day, 24 hours a week?
Well, I do try to find time. My wife and I will settle down around 10 at night for a while. I'll do about an hour with her. She passes out, of course, so we have to rewatch everything. But we've been watching Superman and Lois. We heard it was good. We had started a while ago, but I didn't like the evil Superman angle again. I was like, "Oh, we're doing this again." But then it wound up being better and good. You know, we finished it out, and when we rewatched it, and we're in the last episode of season 2 as we get through. I know there's 4, so that's what we're watching right now. Prior to that, we watched Dexter, and then we're going to go back to Dexter, the new series, after we do Superman and Lois.
Nice, man. Yeah, I've heard some good things about the Superman and Lois TV series. I've seen season 1 of that show, particularly. I haven't finished it, obviously. I'm way behind the times. Sorry, Tyler Hecklin and Bitsy Tulloch. My apologies, because you're making the rounds at Comic Cons lately, including one that we're going to be potentially attending, which is Fan Expo in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, later this summer. So
Nice.
who knows? Because it's always sunny in Philadelphia, apparently.
Hmm.
Maybe it'll be a sunny day tomorrow when they beat Kansas City. Super Bowl, who knows, right?
That's what everybody's rooting for, right?
I know, seriously. The last thing we need is for Tay-Tay to write 50 more songs about the Kansas City Chiefs and her boyfriend who plays for Kansas City.
Well, don't worry. When they break up, she'll write about that.
She will, because that's what certain singers do. When they break up with a loved one, they write 50 songs about the breakup, right? They become bestsellers, platinum hits, right? Platinum records, and double platinum, and you make money. So yeah, well, that we wish we could have, but we don't as normal folk.
Little funny tidbit. You know, you mentioned you're talking behind the stage, backstage about my post about my daughter and the boy that asked her to a date. Right. Well, they were talking about they played Taylor Swift and all the kids hated it and they all sat down and didn't want to dance. So nice. I think Taylor is more popular with young women than she is with the kids anymore. You know, she used to be big with the kids, but I think the demographic for her has changed.
Wow.
I don't know.
Okay, well, and I also heard a rumor, not to get on too much of a off the rails here, but for just a moment, I heard that she may or may not be involved in the situation involving Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. So,
oh my,
yeah, because she's best friends with Blake, so maybe some of her text messages will come into play. I don't know, and because I asked someone who was speaking about it earlier today, I said, "How does Tay-Tay factor into all this?" And she says, "Well, she and Blake Lively are best friends, and they've been talking about the situation that broke down between her and Justin ever since it started, or even before it started." I'm like, oh, so she's kind of caught in the middle of the drama, huh? Okay. Good luck with that, Taylor.
It's a new song.
Yeah. I know, it's another song she's probably going to write after that legal battle between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni is concluded, whenever that happens. Gee whiz. Well, just out of curiosity, are you excited for some of the content we're getting later this summer? Next weekend we're getting Nothing Says I Love You More Than Captain America Brave New World. You know.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with them making Sam Wilson. First of all, in the comics, there was Falcon and Captain America and the Falcon, in the 70s, 80s, so that was fine. But also, the way they tailored it in the MCU, Bucky had such a bad past with all the bad things he did, even though he was brainwashed. I don't think it would have sold well with viewers to make him the follow Captain America. So I think Sam made sense. I don't have a problem with it. I kind of like the amalgamation of the two, although Falcon is good on his own. So I'll just wait and see the movie. I don't like to crap on movies unless they deserve it, and you have to see it to really find that out. So I'm looking forward to seeing it. I hope it'll be good. I hope the Red Hulk comes out really well, and that leads to something later with the Hulk. And I'll be honest with you, I was as reluctant to jump on the bandwagon as everybody else about Superman, but I liked the trailer. It had kind of a wholesomeness again to Superman. I don't dig his hair, but that's a small thing. But Crypto was kind of cool, and how saving the kid the way he did, that's Superman. I'm a cornball with my Superman. I'm tired of the angry Superman. The flawed. I mean, he's flawed, but they focus so much more on his flaws that we've gotten away from what makes him Superman, and it's not his powers. So I'm kind of excited for Superman in the summer. I'm looking forward to Fantastic Four. I'll give it a shot like anything else, but the voice of Ben Grimm seems a little off, but all right, that's just a voice. And Pedro Pascal, I just don't get Reed Richards vibes from him, but maybe he'll blow it out of the water and it'll just be a great movie. We'll see. I was excited about Galactus, though.
Yeah, for sure. And, Pedro Pascal has had such a great career up to this point in his life, and, he's Mandalorian, dude. So, but that's the thing, though. All I see is Mandalorian. When I look at him, I don't really see Reed Richards at all, period. But Then again, there have been different iterations of the comics over years, and there have been different iterations of characters over the years. So, and it's set in the 60s. It's during the space race. So they're going, to me, when I saw the Fantastic Four trailer, just to go with the little bit of an MCU thing here, it's definitely a love letter to Jack Kirby, Stan Lee, Steve Ditko, all the originals who came up with these characters. I think this movie to me is looking more like a love letter to what was given to that generation back in the day, which is fine. I don't mind it because we've never seen a Fantastic Four here for movie going audiences set during that time period, so I don't mind that. It's just that the trailer didn't really wow me as much as the Superman trailer did, because I'm more of a Superman fan than a Fantastic Four. I respect Fantastic Four, don't get me wrong, but Super Loop is my number one. He's my dog. He's my boy. So, hey,
Rod. Yeah, I think they're trying to keep it close to the vest with Fantastic Four, and they were just trying to whet your appetite and kind of tell you, look, it's going to be okay. So
okay. We have the Invisible Woman, we have Johnny, we have Ben, we have Reed, we have Galactus showing up at the end there with his helmet and the ominous shadow in the background. You're like, oh, Galactus shows up. It only took you 20 years to get him in there. But
it's also confidence in these production studios that they can put out the purest version of them from the comics, the source material. And I think they didn't have big purple and red helmet costume guy. Does that translate well in real life? I can understand the skepticism, but I think little things like seeing Wolverine in his costume, finally they realize, we can do this. And I think a lot of fan fiction has helped them realize that, because like Bat in the Sun and things like that, who are doing these, they put Wolverine in his costume originally, and I think that they're paying attention, and they're saying, oh, maybe we can pull this off. And they're also desperate at this point. The movies haven't done well, and they need to do something to pull back the fans and bring them in again and give them hope and faith that it's going to be solid. I'm really looking forward to Daredevil Born Again. I hope it's really on the same level of Daredevil had been, because to me, that series was probably the best Marvel-produced thing ever made. That and Winter Soldier, I think, are just phenomenal stuff. So they have a great potential to recover this season. So I hope that they do. I don't root for anybody's failure. I don't.
Okay, no, totally got you, man. And Charles W. Morgan says that Galactus, though, in that trailer, awesome. And then Rod Ramos Rodolfo says, hey, you guys.
By the way, if anybody's looking for an amazing cover and sequential artist, Rod is really top-notch professional, man. He's worked with major studios, major publications, major books. Reach out to him. He's really solid. And I used to rep him. I don't rep anymore, but I'm telling you, solid person to work with. Go hire him or get some commissions.
Very true. Very true. Look at all these great friendly neighborhood elevator pitches. Everyone supporting one another, and the rising tide lifts all ships. So let's try to keep that in mind as we roll on. But I've loved Daredevil when it dropped on Netflix way back in the day. I loved it. It's dark. It's gritty. That's what I like in my comic book movie / TV series. I'm sorry. I'm just a fan of the Chris Nolan dark and gritty, stuff. And Daredevil can be a dark and gritty character because there are iterations of that featured well within the comics, like Frank Miller, for example. So, yeah, I'm excited. Of all the trailers we've seen in the last 6 months, the Superman is the most intriguing one of the bunch. But the Daredevil Born Again is just badass. Like, it's just...
Yeah, I was very happy with how gritty they made it, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Like, they're bringing everybody back. They got the familiar tone, the familiar setting, the familiar costumes, some new twists on the costumes as well. So which doesn't bother me in the least. And, Frank Castle shows up with a thick ass beard that every man would want to have. Maybe not so. But I'm throwing that out there for you, John Bernthal. But it looks fantastic. And and the funny thing is that I grew up watching Vincent D'Onofrio as Ed, the bug guy in Men in Black. I grew up watching him like that, and then when you see him do all these roles, whether it's Goran on Law and Order: Criminal Intent for 10 years, Full Metal Jacket, and all these other roles.
Full Metal Jacket, that was brilliant, yeah.
Of all these characters he's played, it's like, you know what? I'm so used to seeing you with hair, Vince, but when you shaved it all off for Kingpin / Wilson Fisk back in the day for Daredevil Season 1, I believe this. I can get with this.
I would actually venture to say he might very well be the best on-screen villain portrayal of anybody in the MCU. I mean, he really was accurate and just top-notch acting, and he was a threat. And I think he did an amazing job.
For For sure. I mean, that's definitely got to go down in history as one of the best superhero comic book movie castings of all time, or comic book TV series castings, excuse me, of all time. So yeah, Daredevil Born Again. Cue up the music. Dun, 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 dun. You know, it gets a little dark. But once again, we are here with the guest of honor, Phil Russertt, here on this episode of And I Quote. Do not forget to like and share this with everyone you know. And if you're joining this live or on a replay, thank you so much for doing that. If you have any questions, or you just want to throw out some flowers, to Phil over here, let him know in the comments. Let us know in the chat, because Charles W. Morgan and Rod Ramos Rodolfo has, chimed in thus far, which, by the way, thank you both for doing that as we go throughout the course of this program. Before we dive into your Omnibus project that's currently going on within Kickstarter, what are some of your favorite comic books that are out right now, whether they be something you found at your LCS or something that's going on indie-wise?
I have to be honest with you. I haven't really been collecting new stuff. I'm kind of old school, and I kind of think it's written for a younger generation now. I do like a lot of indie stuff, though. Like I said, Charles W. Morgan's noir crime book, Cold Cutter, is really good. I did recently back the Kickstarter for all the G.I. Joe Omnibus, and they arrived, so I'm excited about, digging through that. So nothing really new. The most recent thing I read, I think, was the Godzilla Kong versus Justice League, because I'm a huge Godzilla fan, and I enjoyed that. That was very good. So that's probably the newest thing I could say I read. Hey, Kenny. But that's about it. Unfortunately, I haven't been collecting new stuff for a long time. What I do want to get into is Dynamite's Hanna-Barbera stuff, Silverhawks and Thundercats, and they weren't Hanna-Barbera per se, but, and they're going to do Thundar. I'm excited about that. I'm a big Thundar fan. So I'm really looking forward to those licenses. I want to collect them in the trades, though. And Gotchaman, my friend Chris Batista, is doing a phenomenal job on the interiors on that from Mad Cave. So that's stuff that I will be getting. I'm just waiting for the collected volumes because, I'm out of room on stuff. So collected volumes go nice on the bookshelf.
Yeah, you're going to need a bigger boat. Just out of curiosity, did you add any new statues or figures to your collection? Because I see in your background, you got some Killer Batman, Killer Superman, and Killer whatever else is going on in the background of that studio of yours back there. So any new hot toys or statues that you
I have probably over 100 statues, but what I like, I recently got the Diamond Select Taskmaster I'd always wanted, and the Vision. And then I got the, how they're doing the small ones, like they have the McFarlane Venom, the McFarlane Deadpool. I didn't get the Deadpool yet, I want to, but I got the McFarlane Venom because I love McFarlane Venom. I'm not big on the new Venom with the tendrils and all this stuff. I like the big scary Spider-Man, like the steroided Spider-Man that doesn't trigger his senses. I love the way Todd drew that Venom. So they sculpted it after that, of course. So that's pretty new too. Yeah.
Nice. Killing it, man. Killing it. I wish I had some of those statues back there, because that Batman and Superman looks so super. By the way,
I got the Wonder Woman. You just can't see. She's receded between the two of them. Sideshow. Yeah.
Bummer. But Kenny Calderon says Shazam. Shazam. Okay, there you go, Kenny. By the way, good to hear from you too, Kenny. It's been a while, man. We got to get all of you guys, Rod, and Charles, and Kenny. We got to get you all back here on set, and we'll hang out. We'll talk some comics or something like that, because you're into that sort of stuff, right, Kenny? Right? Yeah. I mean, you're into.
Kenny's another great artist. Professionally, should hire. He did phenomenal interiors on Tragedy, the manga, and he's done some amazing covers on Tragedy that will be in LCS soon enough.
Booyah! That's even better. Fantastic stuff. Well, let's dive into this here for a little bit. So, you got a Kickstarter going on right now. It's a Kickstarter. Went down on January the 31st. It's an exclusive hardcover collection with over 400 plus pages, I should say. Gee willikers. So, tell us a little bit more about this omnibus.
So this is we just formatted the books. It's actually 428 pages, all story, no filler, and it is everything that I've been able to publish over the last 4 years. The trailer says almost 5. It was an error on my part. It's really been just about 4. We started in 2021. It's 15 issues plus a short story that I wrote in prose that leads to one of the stories, Withered, and I'm very proud of it. I'm passionate about this industry, and I'm passionate about comics and storytelling and heroes, villains that you love to hate and hate to love, heroes that you can root for, I love, like I said, the traditional heroes, and then I, of course, like flawed heroes. So I have a little bit of all of that. There's sci-fi, there's fantasy, horror, there's superhero, vigilante level superhero, there's Chinese mysticism, there's family, friendly, all ages superhero story in here. So it's got something for everybody, and I'm just really proud of it. It's funny, people are telling me how amazing it is that I did these 15 issues in just 4 years. The truth is, if I had the money, I'd probably be on about 30 issues right now. I just haven't had the money or more. So, but I'm very proud. I work with a lot of great talent. Mike Phillips did the cover, which is to the left, with all the characters on there. That's just a bunch of characters, not all, but some from my universe. And Jay Sloan did the back cover. The front cover was inked by Gary Girout, and both were colored by February Ferdian. I get the credit for all this stuff, but honestly, I'm like the quarterback. I get all the love, but it's my front line that protects me and helps me and makes me look good. Without them, I'd be nothing. And that's the artists and, the pencilers, the inkers, the colorists, the letterers, George Medina, Jason Meadows. I work with Kenny, all those guys, Rod. I work with amazing people, amazing talents that give me their best day in and day out and helped this book come true.
More phenomenal, man. It looks really good, and you got some really good support here with the pledges and the kind of perks. You got T-shirts here, I can see. I'm not usually a swag guy, but people asked me for T-shirts. Ironically, they asked, but they're not pledging. So, well, you got 2 backers there for the T-shirts so far. You got shot glasses, I can see here, a tragedy mask, I should say. Yeah, which looks really cool. You got and a blanket. Who'd have thunk that we would come out with a blanket? Yeah, I actually own one, and it's really comfortable, and it looks great. Oh, there you go. Durable, machine washable, all good things, all good. And then you got the omnibus going for this, which looks fantastic. Yeah, I know it's a higher priced item. Most people, I'm not well known. They're like $85. You have to remember it's 428 pages. If you were to buy an omnibus from anybody else, it'd be 125, 150. So realizing that I'm not a huge name, I kept the price down as much as I could. But obviously, hardcover books of that size are expensive to print. Mm-hmm. Very true. Very true. Not gonna. Yep. Agree with you 100%. Not going to argue that point. So you have that. You also have the Tragedy Sequential Art Edition of the second print. Wow. Okay. Yeah, we sold out of the first one. Look at this big bad boy. 11 by 17. Hardcover. That'll kill somebody who tries to break into your house. It's all the sequential art from issues 1 through 5 of Tragedy by Ricardo Silva, who's amazing. And a lot of the big name covers like Bill Sienkiewicz, David Mack, Chris Pachalo. Chance Wolf did the front. So, a lot of people wanted to buy pages, but I'm not parting with them, and they love the big name covers that I work with. So I decided, I'm not going to sell the original art, but I'll give them the next best thing. So it sold out, and it did very well. I'm very proud of it. And nobody in the indie community is doing something like that. I'm not bragging, but I am proud that I'm putting out professional content on this level, and the more people support and back us financially, the more money I can throw back into this and making everything even better. There you go. Best sales pitch man in the business. For sure. I can't help myself. So yeah, you over 400 pages. You got Tragedy is involved in this, which by the way, I've read a couple of issues of Tragedy thus far. It's fantastic. I love it. Thank you. The dynamics is the family friendly one with a family of heroes. I can see. Yeah. Yes. Based on my family, actually. So it's kind of funny. Okay. All right. So they were drew in the likeness of the Misses and the Two Little Munchkins? For the most part, yeah, in cartoon style, but yeah. And that's a cover by Kenny Calderon, by the way, who's in the chat. So that's what you get from Kenny, yeah. That's what Dad bod. Nice shirt, by the way. Yeah. I'm a big Rush fan, and originally he put Rush on it to just be nice, but we were worried about copyright and stuff, so he changed it to Dad bod, which is perfect. That's great. You be nice. I mean, which reminds me, that's the third rule you're supposed to follow when you're working at Roadhouse. I want you to be nice. Yes. Yeah, be nice until it's time to not be nice. That's what Swayze said. Good movie. It was corny but fun. Corny but fun, yeah. And that movie actually turned 35 last year, Phil. Oh, wow. I know. We're getting way too young for this. It's crazy. Yeah. You got Withered up in here, which that was a good story. I believe Withered was also as like a little paperback at one.
It was a short story in a prose book I wrote, which will be included in the omnibus. So whoever you get the introduction to the story, so you can you get the whole. Ooh. Now you can read the issue without it, but it's just a better experience to have it all.
Nice. That's even sweeter. And then you got Diary of the Dread for anyone who wants to go back to the George A. Romero days.
Yeah, this was received really well. Horror Anthology Magazine, 5 full stories written by me. That's a cover by Tom Mandrake. And the storyboard artist for the Creepshow TV show loved it and said the last story really disturbed them, which was like, yes! Rod Rodolfo, and you'll see some interior pages by Rod, did work in there and just blew it away. So it's and people don't see the twist coming. It's kind of like the Creepshow, EC Comics, Tales from the Crypt, The Vault, all that stuff kind of stories. And it's been received. I'm very fortunate because everyone has been saying my writing is really solid. I mean, even big names like Chuck Dixon, Peter David, and Howard Mackey have said Tragedy's written well. So that's kind of like being a wannabe actor, and Morgan Freeman and Tom Cruise and whoever are telling you that you're good. Yeah, so.
Yeah, Bradley Cooper. Maybe it's time to let the old ways down. No, I'm just kidding. That's from A Star Is Born. Great movie too, with him and Lady Gaga. I had no expectation for that movie, and I walked out thinking to myself, I didn't know Bradley Cooper had it in him to direct a movie.
Yeah, and that was the third version of that movie, actually.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So, but Diary of the Dread definitely. And I was one of the many children who made the really horrible mistake of watching Tales from the Crypt in the middle of the night when I was only 6, 7, 8 years old, Phil, and I shouldn't have been watching it.
Yeah.
So I made the biggest mistake. One of the biggest mistakes of my life was watching that show when I should not have been watching it. Period.
That's funny. I was always a big Nightmare on Elm Street fan. I was so stoked when Channel 9, UPN 9 at the time, had the Freddy's Nightmares. I was like, yes! And then I was disappointed where he was just narrating, like he was the host, and it was all these other anthology stories. I was like, no, I want Freddy!
Freddy, yeah. Well, he says it. I mean, he says it perfectly in the third film. Welcome to prime time, bitch.
Yeah.
Smashes her through the television set. Minor spoiler for a movie that's been out for 40 years, and it's called Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors.
Yeah.
With a great song, too, by Dokken, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Dream Warriors. Yeah, it's really good. Charles W. Morgan says, I was disturbed. Diary. Okay, well, there you go, Charles.
Someone told me that I must have an inner psych. I'm an inner.
Yeah.
What did he say? I can't remember.
Inner psychic ability or something?
No, I was inner psychotic personality. That's what he said.
Pulling out your old inner jigsaw.
Yeah, really.
Time to play a game. No, I'm just kidding. So let me see here. Where am I trying to go? So, and by the way, Arcane Syndicate. This is unique. Taking all of the classic monsters and making them into a Justice League Suicide Squad kind of thing?
I just finally put out the PDF for fulfillment, and I'm getting the file tonight to go to print Monday. For the campaign was delayed because David River was just doing a phenomenal job on the interiors. February Friday on colors. It's my take with these classic monsters, and I'm telling you, no one's done the stories that I'm doing with them. No one. I mean, you're talking about the 3 vampires exist: Vlad the Impaler, Nosferatu, and Count Dracula, and they're all vying for who they think the others are imposters. Remember in the old Frankenstein movie, what was it, 1936 or 39 or whatever the year was, he drowns the little girl.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Well, imagine she comes back as a vengeful spirit, possessing the other monsters to kill Frankenstein, right? So imagine one of the vampires gets the Book of the Dead and can control all the other vampires now because they are undead. Imagine they go up against the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. I mean, I'm telling you, man, this book it's been a blast to write. It's a lot of fun. It's the best of horror, sci-fi, fantasy, supernatural, and superhero all mixed into one, while paying tribute and honoring who these characters always have been. So I'm excited, and I'm so excited to get some feedback off the first issue. And that's included in the omnibus.
It's too bad the people at Dark Universe / Universal Pictures didn't take their P's and Q's from you, and they went along with Tom Cruise's weird, bizarro twist. on the Universal Monster universe, because it's hard to hold a candle to the originals of the 30s, 40s, and early 50s, with starting with Dracula, and it ended with Creature from the Black Lagoon, which are some of the best movies I think have ever been made. Because I went ahead and bought the Blu-ray set of the first 7 or 8 Universal Monster movies from the originals, and I went one by one and I watched every one of them, because the first one I ever saw, fun fact for you, for those of you watching or listening at home, first one I saw was at a Comic-Con. They had Rico Browning, who was the man in the suit as Gillman in the original Creature from the Black Lagoon movie.
Nice.
From the 50s. I think it was the 50s, if not no, it was 40s, somewhere around there. And they had a showing of the movie that night after his Q&A, and I watched the movie, and that was my first time seeing any of the Universal class, like old school, monster movies from way back when. And I thought, oh my gosh, this movie's only 75 minutes long, and it's one of the best movies I've ever seen in my life. I mean, for a film,
they were engaging, man. Yeah.
For a film that was made that long ago with the technology that they were very limited to use, I mean, the Universal Monster movies had practical effects, and they were fantastic, and they work.
Dude, he was wearing a tank, an air tank, to swim and breathe under the water. It was great stuff. I mean, true passionate filmmaking before it was about shareholders and
bonuses.
It was just, I agree. And I don't like to take other people's characters, public domain or anything. I like to do my own stuff. Oh. But I just had these stories that I was like, you know what, this won't work as well if it's not them. So I ran it by my wife, and my wife, who's a wonderful, honest human being, and I can trust her to be honest with me. She's like, yeah, I don't know. I wrote the scripts. I sent her the first 6 scripts. She read. She goes, oh my God, this is so good. She's like, yeah, you got to do this. So, and then what David did on the pages, and then February Ferdian with colors, and then George Medina with letters. The book is freaking gorgeous.
Say no more. No, it looks fantastic. It sounds fantastic. I mean, going back to all that, and then you got some of the interiors here being featured, which look great.
Tragedy, Ricardo Silva, yeah,
really good stuff here.
I mean, comics are a wonderful blend of great art and great storytelling, great writing, right? And I'm not going to say I'm a great writer. I'm going to ask you to pick up the book and find out for yourself. But as you can see, I do appreciate and respect great art. So, and sequential storytelling. So we're trying to give you the best of both worlds with these books. Because I know the disappointment of you pick up a book, the cover looks great, and then the interior art's not up to par, and you're like, ah. And even though it may be a great story, it's hard to read it with that art, or vice versa. Beautiful art, and then you're reading like, oh man, this guy can't write for crap. So we take pride in trying to give you the best of both worlds. That's from the Horror Magazine. That's Alex Sarabia's art.
Wow. Looks like I'm watching an episode of Gotham or something.
Really good. And this is Rod Rodolfo, who's in the chat. I mean, that's what you get from him. Phenomenal work. I mean, look at that. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous.
It's a Butte clock. It's a Butte. Sorry. Yeah. That's a Christmas Vacation reference, even though we're past holiday season, but still really good stuff, man. Honestly, this is a lot of this artwork, in my opinion, and I've said this about other artists that I'm really big. I try to support as many people as I can. I know it's not always easy, but I will say this artwork is razor sharp, brother. So
yeah, and this is David River on Arcane, which we were just talking about. I mean, one of my favorite pages of all the books I've done is coming up. You're going to show it. It's with Vlad the Impaler's introduction into this story. It's the next page after this. It's just that. He just did such a wonderful job of complementing the dialogue with facial expression, body language, adding his own little things to it, like the blood pouring down the armrest of the throne. And then February, the colors are just brilliant. It's honestly, I think maybe my favorite page of everything I've done. It's just gorgeous.
And, going over the rewards again, but yeah, it more phenomenal stuff, man. Looks really good. I gotta say, I'm trying to think. I don't think I have any Omnibus in my collection, but it's going to happen at some point. It might actually be this one, to be perfectly honest with you, because I already like Tragedy. I already like Withered, because I think I've read the first 3 issues of Tragedy, if I'm not mistaken, and then I've read the Prose book Withered, which is fantastic. That book really that one really hit me. I mean, that's a really
No, I take pride in that storyline. Nobody's ever done that before. Is it in a world where there's just so many millions of stories, it's hard not to be derivative in some way. I don't think anybody's ever done that storyline that Withered is. I don't think anybody's ever had that antagonist. I'm very proud of that. It's very different.
Mm-hmm. For sure. And Charles W. Morgan says, great layouts.
Thank you, Charles. Even though I have nothing to do with it. I mean, my script does, but David just took it all to a new level. To a new level.
There you go. Well, you know what they say, right? And I try to emphasize this in every thing that I do, whether it's with people who've been on my set before, people who are just visiting us for the first time. Teamwork makes the dream work, period.
Mm-hmm.
Can't do it alone. I mean, alone, you can do stuff. Alone, you are vulnerable. But if you work together as a team, you can do much. So
it's true. And like I said, it doesn't matter if I'm a good writer or not. If you look at the book and the sequential storytelling doesn't do the job, and if the art isn't up to par, nobody cares. They don't care if I'm a good writer. So these guys are the rock stars.
Mm-hmm. Very, very true. And another rock star is sitting with us right now. That would be Phil Russertt of Philbo Publishing on, and I quote, do not forget to like and share this with all of your closest friends. If you're joining us live or what is known as a replay, thank you so much for doing that. If you have any questions for Phil, let us. Sorry, that's a Muppets Take Manhattan reference. But
I remember.
Okay, all right. I wasn't sure if you caught the Jim Henson throwback or not. But you can drop them in the comments, leave them in the chat. We're more than happy to take those as they come in respectively. Since we mentioned it a moment ago, favorite Jim Henson Muppet movie? What's your favorite one?
I like the original Muppet movie. I love Sweetums, and he was in it chasing, like, hey guys, wait up! I love the original Muppet movie. It's fantastic.
Wow. Okay. All right. You're kicking it.
A lot of people like Treasure Island and all that stuff, but Muppets. I'm a big for the original.
Mm-hmm.
Moving right along to the melody.
That's right. Fancy free. A bear is natural habitat. A Studebaker.
Yeah, that's great.
Studebaker. Have you ever even seen a Studebaker in real life? Have you?
No.
Because I don't think I have either. But it'd be cool if I did, because if I saw him, I'd be like, hey, it's Fozzie's car.
Yeah, right.
But he says in the movie, is this your car? No. My uncle left it. It's like, oh, okay. So technically it's your Uncle Leo's car, like in Seinfeld. Uncle Leo! Hello! But yeah, no. So, gosh, man, Muppet movie. Doc Hopper. Yeah. It's funny because his henchman, the guy who drives his limousine, is the same guy who tried to blow up Johnny Five in Short Circuit.
Oh, is he? I don't remember. I haven't seen it in a while. Oh, wow. Okay.
He was the guy who worked for the company that built him, and he was the one who says, I need him back. Stat. That was him.
Right.
That was the same guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he just had longer hair in the Muppet movie because he was, a decade or so earlier.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize that.
Mm-hmm. Same guy. I know. See, fun facts. The more you know. Exactly.
The more you know.
Exactly. With the PSA and the rainbows coming out. Yeah, exactly. Thanks, network executives. My favorite Muppet movie is originally, I think it was Great Muppet Caper. That came a little bit later on, a few years later. But I think my favorite out of all of them is probably because it's just a holiday tradition for us in the family. It's Muppet Christmas Carol, man. That movie hits you. It hits you. It's real good, and it's a love letter to Jim Henson because he passed away before that movie had come out, and they dedicated it to his memory. And it was great. His son directed it. Brian Henson directed it, which was great. And Michael Caine, treated every Muppet as if they were a real person and not a Muppet. That's why he took that movie so seriously, and that's why he comes across as Scrooge so well, because he took it seriously.
Right.
Not
many artists, not many actors that you could say that you had your hand up their rear end, but yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, we got a little graphic on this show, so please turn the dial right now and change the channel. No, I'm just kidding. Keep it on this channel because we do our best to aim to please. It's all good. But yeah, no. Great Muppet Caper when they're going after the baseball diamond. What color are their hands now? We just got to catch those thieves red-handed. And then Fozzie looks over and he says, "Wow, that's a happiness hotel. I hate to see what the sad one looks like."
Yeah. Great stuff.
Oh gosh, man! I don't think this is going to happen to you because your work is great. But what if Stettler and Waldorf showed up one day and just started throwing barbs at your work, being up in the peanut gallery? I wonder how funny that would be. I don't know.
I would laugh at them.
Exactly. Are we reading the same comic? Yeah.
Kenny's responding to my joke about the hand at the bottom.
Oh yeah.
It's a running thing between us. I used to do live streams with Kenny and the artist for Withered, Will Playden, and I would say something silly or raunchy or just shoot something out just out of left field, and he would just go, Jesus.
Good to hear from you again, Kenny. Absolutely. Throwing in those familiarities and those barbs or those words. Yeah, no, and Will Playden's made a name for himself. I mean, he just posted some of the trading cards that they're coming out with for Star Wars, and he put together ones for each, character. Yoda, Boba Fett,
nice.
Darth Vader. I think they're like certified and all that kind of jazz from Topps Trading Cards, something like that. So well done, Will. Well done. His artwork is sharp too.
Yeah, he's an amazing portrait artist, and he did great work on the pages in Withered.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes, Withered. Can't forget about that one, for sure. So
and the cover, that cover with Satan, that's all Will. He painted that gouache painting.
Oh, that's what that was. Okay, wow. Boy, that's money, man. That's money. For sure. To steal a Vince Vaughn and Jon Favreau line from the 90s. It's so money. So speaking of money, something's going on in the world of comics. This whole Diamond situation's been going down recently within the tabloids and in the newspapers and all that jazz, and people still read newspapers anymore. But you have an idea of maybe a possible solution to when it comes to comic books or maybe indie comic book distribution. So tell us about it.
So I'm going to be making an official announcement, press release, etc. But we are doing Philbo publishing. I have amassed a list of every comic store in North America. That's Canada and the United States. And I'm onboarding some publishers now, some bigger names as well, which will make an official announcement soon. But this will be for monthly distribution, quarterly, bi-monthly, however the publisher wishes to put out the book. And we will be in comic stores. It's pretty much almost the same distribution model as Diamond and Lunar, but it's more creative friendly. The industry, the middlemen have come into the industry and found a way to make a big profit, but the creators are struggling and the comic stores are closing. I have a business model where we can all thrive. I don't need to be a millionaire distributor. I can live a modest life and still help, publishers succeed, get their books out there. Readership is down and we want readership up, and collectability is up. Investing in comics is up, but we want readership and we want good stories for that to happen. And we need good stories for that to happen. And there's a lot of indie people that they're stuck in their echo chamber, on crowdfunding or Facebook, whatever. And it's hard for them to get out there. So we are providing the opportunity for that little guy that can't get the opportunity through major distribution to get out to stores across North America and start to build that fan base and get out of that echo chamber and really stretch and get out there. And you know what? I don't want to gatekeep. I'm not going to tell you can't be in the ring. Let the free market decide. So you distribute through me. I'm not going to dictate if I think the book looks good enough to market or whatever. That's not my job as a distributor. That'd be my job as a publisher. So you come to me, you distribute. The market will tell you if your book is worth it or not, whether you get the orders or not. And like I said, we're going to get into more detail soon, and we'll be able to do the press release through major outlets, and we will be legitimately doing distribution. This isn't a pipe dream. I know a few people have tried it on smaller scale. This is, like I said, this is serious. This is legit. And we have quite a few publishers lined up that I'm onboarding as we speak.
All right. Great stuff. Congratulations. Wish you nothing but success with that new venture.
Thank you.
It's a big deal. Won't be easy, but you're so money you don't even know it. You're like a big bear, man. So,
I listen, people, and I'm very grateful to them for the kind words and support. They tell me what I've been doing and how successful I've been, and I don't see it. I'm in the first 5 minutes of the first quarter of the first playoff game, and I've got 16 games to win before I get a championship. So I'm not celebrating anything. I'm not patting myself on the back for anything. I got this gray hair because I work my ass off, excuse my language, and I'm just going to keep working, plugging away, paying my dues, earning that respect, making waves, and I'm going to do it while helping others as best as I can, because we're a community and I don't see anybody as competition. My only competition is being a better person, father, husband, publisher, creator tomorrow than I was today. And I want to see everybody succeed. And even the people that I may not want to break bread with you at my table, that doesn't mean I want you to starve. I want everybody to live their dream and be successful. And if you're good enough, then I want you to be able to have the opportunity to do it.
Well, that being said, I mean, it goes a little something like this, right?
Yes! Hell yeah! Hey, come on, baby! Come on! Yes! Come on! Ah! Yes! Yes!
How did you even have that queued up? It's not like you knew I was going to say all that.
No, but
Right.
we've here at Anti Quote Studios, we've tried to I like to throw in as many pop culture references as I can. So I just went through I went through the line of the menu at a YouTube restaurant, and I was like, okay, what pop culture clips can I use to get people excited or just jazzed, or
That's
make them
great.
laugh a little bit, maybe break the ice a little bit, something like that.
As long as you're not comparing me to a meth dealer and meth lab.
No. That's just people saying yes, hell yeah, like
Yeah.
you got this. Come on, baby, come on, yes, yeah. It doesn't
But
mean that.
my
Yeah.
comics can be addictive if you read them.
Yes, but it won't be like the situations that broke down in Breaking Bad. So you don't have to.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about that. We don't condone some of the things or activities that were going on that show, in a fictional sense. So, just let it go. It's just enthusiasm for giving each other high fives and saying, yes, we did it. Hell yeah, let's go. Yeah. So, it's just something to break the ice, get people excited a little bit. I mean, otherwise, if it wasn't that, I would have had to play you this one instead.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
I mean, it's
My
a big
daughter's
project.
a
and-
huge Jaws fan. She loves
What-
sharks.
Well, here's the thing. Fun fact for you and for those of you watching or listening to this program at home, Jaws turns 50 this year.
Oh, wow.
And not only that, I have a very special treat for all of you. So we are going to be doing a 50th anniversary celebration / watch along, which is basically our iteration of Mystery Science Theater 3000, where you're going to be watching us watch the movie and react to it live in front of the world. And you're going to have the chance to watch that movie along with us from the comfort of your own home. So Jaws is coming back for its 50th anniversary, folks, and we're going to be celebrating it right here on Anti-Quote channel. So you might want to
That's
subscribe to the
crazy.
channel now so you get notified of when we go live. And we're going to have a great panel of guests during the course of that episode. I believe it's going to drop somewhere in June, if not probably 4th of July week, because, you yell Barracuda, everyone says, huh? What? You yell shark, and we got a panic on our hands on the 4th of July. So,
Wow, 50 years.
I know,
Way to
50. It's
go.
crazy, isn't it?
I remember seeing Jaws in theaters. I was very, very little. My father took me to everything.
And he took you to movies you probably shouldn't be seeing at that age, which includes
Yeah.
Jaws, because that got bloody in the second half of the movie, for sure. Where's my son? It's just
Yep.
For this you get the head, the fin, the whole damn thing. It's gonna cost you though. But still, yeah, Jaws turns 50. Here's another example for you. Next weekend, we're going to be Nothing Says I Love You more than the 30th anniversary of The Quick and the Dead with Gene Hackman, Sharon Stone, Russell Crowe.
That's,
that's right.
30 years old?
Yes. 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 In the words of Daniel Bryan,
Wow.
yes. Yeah. Goes down next weekend, my friend. Yeah, next week we're gonna have Lori Calcaterra, who's an indie comic creator of Path of the Pale Rider. She's gonna be sitting here front row center because she has a thing for westerns. Path of the Pale Rider, anybody?
I backed her campaign, yeah.
Yeah, and then Chris Ingle is going to be with us, so he's a good friend of ours. He's going to be sitting here for Quick and the Dead. But we are looking for people to fill the seats for the 40th anniversary of the Breakfast Club. It's going to be on the 21st of February.
40.
I know, 40, Phil, 40. And then the week after that, we're going to end the lovey-dovey month of February with a hunt, a very special hunt for something known as Red. Red October turns 35.
Wow.
I
I'm
know.
old. I'm feeling
I know.
old.
I know. We're getting way too young for this shiznit, son. But yeah, that's what we're doing in the month of February. So Phil, if you ever want to join us for one of these watch-alongs and have a seat at the table, you're more than welcome to join us, pal.
Cool. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely.
Let me know if you want to chime in for Breakfast Club or Hunt for Red October. Maybe you want to sit in for Jaws. Who knows?
Jaws would be the one. Jaws.
There can be only one.
It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, I like Jaws. I'm a Highlander fan too. But that movie
Oh, me
turns
too.
I think that movie turned 40 last year. I think it came out. No, wait. I think it either came out in 84 or 86. It was one of the two.
80. I think it came out in 86.
Okay, well, the next year we'll be talking about 40 years of Highlander.
They're doing a remake with what's his name? Who did
Is Henry
Superman?
Cavill supposed to be in it?
Yeah.
AK hashtag my Superman. Okay, cool. I can dig it. Hey, I'll take anything he does because Henry Cavill's a badass mamma jamma you don't want to mess with. So.
Well, what I like about him too is he picks projects that he's passionate about. Like he's a fan of The Witcher. He was a fan of Superman, and you know he's when a fanboy is doing it, you know, it makes it even better.
Mm-hmm. He's going to be doing Warhammer here pretty soon.
Yeah,
what I've been told. He's got that, and then you said he's got the Highlander remake / reboot in the pipeline. So yeah, keep going, Henry. We love you, bro. Just saying. No, it's wild stuff for sure. Goodness gracious. Well, I got to tell you, it's been great having you here. You know, we all wish you nothing but the best with what's going on with the current Kickstarter, with the distribution deal that you're putting together. Great stuff. But thank you for being on this episode of A Quote. It was great to see you. You're always welcome to come back anytime, any place. You know, you're just going to need a bigger boat next time you show up. Because you got so much going on.
No.
In your neck of the woods, to be perfectly honest with you. Who's chiming in here? Kenny says, I saw something that claimed he was going to be the new James Bond. Listen,
it's been rumors.
It's been rumored for years. And the funny thing is, Kenny, it's funny you mentioned this. I'm glad you brought this up because I am a JB007 What's Up Son fan. And I've been a fan since Pierce Brosnan's 95 masterpiece, GoldenEye. First Bond film I ever saw in the theater was GoldenEye. True story. And Henry Cavill auditioned and almost got the role of James Bond back in 2005 before they cast Daniel Craig.
Oh yeah,
true story. He was originally going to get the part, and then Daniel Craig came in and blew away, Barbara Broccoli, Michael G. Wilson, the producers of the franchise, and they said, you know what, we're going to go with this guy. So Henry was this close to being my homeboy JB007. So, but you know what? Things happen for a reason. He's gone on to do a lot of great things in his career, whether it's Daniel Craig or Henry Cavill for that matter. And Henry, if they cast you tomorrow as James Bond, I will be there opening weekend, my friend, because I believe in my heart of hearts that not only were you born to play Super Luke, even though you got the short end of the stick, that wasn't your fault. You were born to play James Bond. You were born to play a suave, agent who can drink vodka martini, shaken, not stirred, and drive a BMW Aston Martin. And Kenny said,
I think he would. Yeah, I think he'd be a great Captain Britain too. They'd have to dye his hair blonde, but I think he'd be a great Captain Britain.
Someone made a rumor about that not too long ago. So if that happens, I'll be there. I'll give it a shot. I mean, I can't see my good friend Henry Cavill with blonde hair, but he's been known to do things for roles. So
he had that mustache.
He had the CGI. Yeah, he had the mustache in Mission Impossible 6. He had the CGI mustache for Joss Whedon's Justice League that no one talks about. Kenny Calderon says same, heard the same things, and I'm down for it if it were to happen. Yeah. Team Henry Cavill all day long. Hashtag those are the facts of this case, and they are undisputed. With that being said, once again, thank you to Phil Russertt for being our guest on this episode of A Quote. Phil, if someone wants to know more about you and the great things you got going on or coming up or down the line, where can they follow you on social media?
All right, so the website is www.philboentertainment.com, but we're going through some major changes on it right now, so it's kind of a disaster at the moment, but that will be rectified soon because distribution. But if you go to Facebook, Philbo Publishing, go to Instagram, Philbo Publishing, but because of the way the algorithms kind of block you, I tend to do most of my commentary for the business, etc., off my personal page, Phil Russertt. So you can check me out on any of those. There's also Tragedy the Comic, Creator Con event. These are all Facebook pages and Instagram pages. So I've got a few pages you can go check out.
Great stuff, man. Very happy for you. Going to support you to the best of my ability, and everyone who may be watching or listening to this right now as I hope is going to do the same, because teamwork makes the dream work. Rising tide lifts all ships, ladies and gentlemen. So let's keep that in mind as we go along. Phil, I'm going to talk to you here again momentarily, so feel free to take a seat, take a moment, take a breath, buy some more hot toys, grab some free food and drinks in the backstage area of our studio. I'm just being silly, Phil. We love you, brother. In all sincerity, we love you. My name is Ryan of Andy Quote Channel. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at RyanRPM5 personally if you want to check out my personal pages and some of the wild and crazy adventures of Comic Cons and other stuff that I need to get nerdy about over there. And follow us across all forms of social media simply at And I Quote Channel. You can also help us reach 5,000 subscribers in the year of 2025. Why not reach 5,000? Because when we do, we're going to throw a great big live stream celebration that will include special guests and special giveaways that you, the person who's watching or listening to this right now, are going to be eligible to win. Also, we got merch. That's right. We got shirts, we got hoodies, we got stickers, we got coffee mugs, we have posters, stationery, a couple of throw pillows, a TV news reporter. What do you think? Raphael, what are you doing? Never mind. Sorry, that's a line from TMNT. That turns 35 this year. Yes. 35. The OG TMNT movie from 1990 turns 35 this year. And we're going to be celebrating that in Bossa Nova style later on in this year of 2025. So stay tuned for that. So thank you all again for being here for this episode of And I Quote. And I Quote is on the weekends at 12 p.m. EST, unless otherwise we do special time frames for particular guests. No problem there. Also, movie watch-alongs are the second, third, and fourth Fridays of each month at 7 p.m. EST. And then the Meeting of Fandom is the first Fridays of every month at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So make sure you check out all those wonderful pieces of programming. We embrace the nerd within you. So don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, ring the bell to be notified or when our videos go up or they go live. Remember, life is better when supporting indie creators from all over the world. Take a look.
You've worked hard and written a great book. Now it's time to give it a great cover. If you're an indie author or small press publisher, Plasma Fire Graphics is your source for affordable cover illustration and graphic design. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you.
Good morning! Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.